So hi everyone. So today is my second day of the JS Complete JS Mastery series. So in this playlist that I will be doing the coding live for JavaScript, explaining each and every concept of it. So today is my second day. So today I will be covering these topics. First one is type coercion, second one is operators, third one is I will deep dive into functions, arrays and objects. So let's get the party started. Let's start with type coercion. So what exactly is meant by type coercion? Basically type coercion, let me create a file script. Type coercion is basically means converting value from one type to another. So for example, let's say we have something as a number and we want to convert it to string, or we want to convert string to a number. So that will be done using a type coercion. So there are two types in it. First one is implicit type coercion, second one is explicit type coercion. So for implicit type coercion, that is handled by the JS uh, interpreter itself. So let me give you an example for implicit type coercion. First one is implicit coercion. So let's say we want to print that 2 is a number. So what is happening here? We are using uh, we are using the add operator to concatenate the integer value and a string. So how does JS knows that how it is going to interpret this? So it will take the number and then print the string after it. So if I give, so it means that 2 is being converted into a string, then it is printed out. So if I run the program, it will give me 2 is a number. So this is an example of type coercion. So let me now go to next type coercion, that is explicit coercion. So basically there are methods to explicitly convert one type to another type. So for example, let's say we have a variable named as x, that is 10, and that is in string, and we want to convert this. Now let's check the type of it first. So now it is giving me a string. Now if I want to convert it to a number, so that is where explicit type version comes into the picture. And what I can do, I can use an inbuilt method called as parseInt that will parse the string into a number. If I like now log console.log type of x, it will give me a number. See, this is giving me a number, right? So this is explicit coercion, where we use some inbuilt methods to invoke the particular method, and we want to convert it to another type. So that is the example of coercion. And type coercion also happens when we compare using the strict loose comparison. So that I have discussed in the previous video, you can watch it. I will drop down the link of the previous video. So type coercion is being done is in the equality operator as well, right? Loose comparison, right? So this is type coercion. So this is done. Now we'll talking about the operators. So this equality operators we have already talked about. Like, this is loose comparison and this is strict comparison. The first one does not check the type. It first performs the type coercion, then it checks the value whether they are equal or not. The second one, whereas, does not convert the type to another type, but it also checks whether the type is matching or not. If they're not matching, then it is going to give us false. If they are matching and the value is also equal, then it is going to give us true. Now let's talk about and or operators of it. So let's say I'm going to about blank. Let's say we are printing out 2 or 3. So this is going to give us 2. So let's say we want to do something like 2 or empty string. What is it going to give us? It is again going to give us 2. Now what if we do undefined or 2 or 3? Now the output will be 2 here only. Now why this is happening? If let me give you another example. If I type this, now why this is happening? So basically there are some truthy and falsy values in JavaScript. So basically if I talk about the falsy values in JS, then they are empty string, false, 0, null, undefined, nan. So these are considered as falsy values in JavaScript. So whenever we are using the or operator and it encounters a falsy value, it will ignore it and it will give us the output of the first truthy value. Everything else is truthy. So 2 is truthy, 3 is truthy. So that is why in the case of undefined or 2 or 3, it hits the 2 condition, that 2 is a number, it is not a falsy value, so it will give us 2, right? So that is the case. Now what about the AND operator? So if I say undefined and 2, it will give me undefined. Why? Because AND operator only gives us the output when it is all the values are true. If it encounters any falsy value, it is going to give us that value. But if we write 2 and undefined, it will give again undefined, because all the values have to be true, and whatever value is true at the end, that is going to be the output. If I write 2 and 3, 2 and 4, it will give us 3. Why? Because as I have said, it will pass character by character, and as soon as it encounters any falsy value, it will give us that. If it doesn't encounter any falsy value, it will give the output of the last value. So that is the case. So these are about the and or operators. This is about and or operator. Now we'll be talking about the ternary operator. So ternary operator can be used in some cases like where status equals to working let flag equal to true, let x equal to flag 2 3. So let's say we have this condition, flag, then we have a question mark, then 2 colon 3, 2 colon 3. What is going to be the output? X will be 2, because whatever value is present, if it is true, then it is going to hit the first value. If it is false, it is going to hit the second value. So if flag was false, then x will be flag, x will be 3, because it is going to give us the second value. So this is about the ternary operator. Now we have something called as nullish operator. Nullish operator works where the value is undefined or nan. If the value is undefined or nan, then it is going to give us that value, otherwise it is going to give the whatever value is there. So let's say we have where y equals to 2 and not and, I think this is not the nullish operator. Nullish operator will be double question mark. Oh, okay, I cannot go back. Nullish operator is this question mark, double question mark, to undefined. It is going to be giving me undefined. Why? Because as I have discussed before, nullish operator is going to give us the value to undefined or nan if it is there in the statement. If it is not there, then it is going to give us whatever another value is present, right? So if I write empty string, nullish operator, undefined, it is going to give me string, empty string. If I write this, it is going to give me string, because there is no undefined or nan. It will hit the empty string and it will give the output, right? So what if I write something like null, nullish operator 3, it will give me null. It will nan, sorry. In case of nan, nullish operator 3, it is going to give me nan. So that is about the nullish operator, right? Then comes the optional chaining. Suppose we have an object like this, where obj name Harsh is 22, right? Instead, let me have name Harsh, address, state Haryana, right? So what if I want to access object.address.state? This value exists, but what if I write object, so it is going to give me Haryana object. What if I write object.address.pin? It is going to give me undefined. And what if I do object.address.pin.code? It is going to give me an error because pin is not a valid property. It is not defined inside the object, and we are accessing uh, undefined dot something. So that is why it is giving me error. In this scenario, what we can do, we can use the what do you call it? Which operator? An optional chaining operator. That is a question mark followed by a dot. So I can write something like this: object dot address pin dot state. Not like this. Object dot address dot pin. If pin exists, then only access the state, otherwise do not access it. If pin exists, whatever key is present before the operator, that is going to be the parent, and if that exists, then give me the next its child property value, right? So this is about the nullish operator. So we have talked about type coercion. Okay, let me change the background a bit. Can I change it? This is done, this is also done, these are also done. Now we will deep dive into functions, arrays and objects. So first of all, let me write the code in the cursor AI for these operators, right? So this is, I will write in a separate file. Coercion. Operators.js. First one is the equality operator. So where console.log 2 equal to 2. This is going to give us true. This is going to give us false. Logical operators and or console.log 2 or 3 or empty string. It is going to give us 2. It is going to give us null, right? Because it will start from the beginning and it will see that neither of the value is true, so at the end it is going to give us null. If I write this, then this will be the output, right? because it has encountered empty value, falsy value at the end, right? This is the ternary operator. Should change it. Right, so these are the operators that we have discussed today, right? So let me talk about functions. So we have already discussed the types of functions in the previous lecture. So those are function declaration, function expression, arrow function, ify function. So these are types of the functions that we have in JavaScript. Now, how exactly a function code is executed, that is what we are going to talk about now. Let's say we have a function test console.log test function. Suppose we are also having a variable z and we are trying to access it inside this function, and we are calling test. Now to see the action, what exactly is happening, we need to open the browser. So I will link the script inside my index.html. Function.js, open with live server. See, I can access the z inside the function as well, although it is declared on the outside environment, but still it can access it. Why? How this is happening? So whenever a function is declared, it has also access to its outside environment, that is known as its lexical environment. That is why it is able to like access the property z, access the variable. So if I go to source, if I put a debugger over here and refresh it, so you can see that there is a global scope is created. We have not executed anything, it is the debugger is still at where z equals to 10 line, and we have a global scope. Now inside it, what do you say, what will be the value of z will be undefined, because as we have discussed that first phase is the memory allocation phase, as nothing has been executed as of now, so the memory allocation phase has been done. So that is why z will be allotted a value and test will be allotted entire code. See, z is undefined. And what about test? Entire function is there. So this is the case. If I step over to the next one, we are going to call this, and we will put a debugger. We have put a debugger. So now we are inside this function, test function, right? So it has a local scope and it has a global scope. As we have discussed, it is the outer scope lexical to the function. Local, we have this is something point we will learn about it in the upcoming lecture, this keyword. So right, so we have a local scope and we have access to the global scope, which is the lexical scope of this function. That is why it is able to access the property z. If the property does not exist inside the local scope, then it is referring to the global scope. If the where z is there inside the function, then 20 will be printed, right? Right, so we have 20 over here because we have already declared the z inside the function scope. It is not going to refer to the outer scope. So that is the scenario here, right? So now we are going to talk about arrays. Arrays.js. Let's say we have an array like this, and we want to add a value inside it. So we will do array.push 6. If we want to remove an element from an array, then we can just pop it. If we want to delete from the beginning, then we can do array.shift. If we want to add at the beginning, then we can do array dot unshift, right? So let's see the output for each of the case. See, in the first case 6 got added at the end, and array dot pop 6 got removed at the end. Array dot shift 1 got deleted from the beginning. Array dot unshift 0 got added at the beginning. So this is how we can perform array operations using these functions. Also, we have something called as concat function that is going to concat two arrays. Suppose we have another array where array 2, what if we write, so this is going to concat into a single array, right? So yeah, that's it for today. I'm having some health issues. My health is not well right now, so I'm gonna take a break now. So yeah, that's it for this video. We'll connect tomorrow same time. So yeah, thank you guys.